Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 16th of 17 ARC Formula One races for our 2025A season. We are just kicking off qualifying here for the 2025A Brazilian Grand Prix, one of our most raced on circuits on the entire, we'll say, championship. Since we've basically started this thing, we've been here almost every single season, and for good reason. This place always puts on an amazing show. I think back to some of the past ones we've had here, some of the photo finishes as well, and we just hope to get a race as good as that. As you can see here, I'm here with Matthew Stotts once more, my running mate for this championship commentary team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing today, AJ?
I am absolutely great. I'm so excited for a 20-car field here. We got some big names, some returnees, and some people we haven't seen before, which I think is very, very exciting in the grand scheme of things. We've had some races with low car counts, some absolutely abysmal races this season, including Monaco, which has saw 2 cars finish. But I don't think we're going to see that in this race. I think this is going to be an absolute show from start to finish. I think you would agree with that as well, as we are watching some drivers here round the circuit and start setting some maybe not representative lap times, but their first lap times of the session.
Yeah, very short circuit. Should really keep things close between a lot of these drivers.
And of course, this circuit has got an incredible history here in Sao Paulo, dating back to the 1940s. It's, I would say, one of the circuits that that an F1 fan looks forward to every season in real life, and I would say an F1 league racer looks at this track the exact same way. We have already Kasper Solhammer, the, I believe, Norwegian, into the pits here. He's set a 106.9. We know him to be quick, as he's raced with us in the past. I think back to last season when he was in the Alfa Romeo for a couple of starts on F123. Yeah, he'll be making his return here. It's been quite a while since we've seen him out, obviously, since the Alfa Romeo. That's I guess the season before last season, now that I think about it. But he'll be definitely one to look out for here. I guess we could kind of go down the field and kind of look at these new names here. We ride along with Tai here, the Alpine reserve for this race, this being Tyler Fernandez from Belgium. He heads into the pits. He set a 107.077 so far, good enough for P2. We got George Knight in P3, last season's champion, mathematically eliminated from this season's championship, as we already know. The champion this season, Maxime Van Averbeek, currently sitting in P16, and he will definitely, he maybe doesn't have so much to look forward to for the rest of the season here. He's already got it locked up, but he'll definitely want to extend the wins record. But we'll get to him. P4, we have, I believe this is Jamie Cavagini. It'd be great to know, but he changes his name every other week, so it's hard to actually tell who this is. But I think this is Jamie Cavagini in the Aston Martin this week. As I currently look down the field here, I think that's correct. We got Josh Mayo returning to the V-Carb, the original signed driver of the season. He picked up a shocking podium in Australia, our first round out this season, just 5 short months ago when this season kicked off. And he'll be back out here looking for a duplication of that. Hasn't picked up a lot of points since then, but lots to do for him. P7, we got Alexander Lopez, our faithful lobby host, week after week, sharing the duties here and there with Jamie Cavagini when he can't make it. He's had a good season. Podium at Belgium. I believe he had was it a second podium a couple races ago, Stotts?
It was actually. Can't remember the track.
I can't remember the track either. I feel like we should go. I'm gonna grab that quick. I want to give him his flowers for how good a season he's actually had here. It's been quite a turnaround from him from his debut to
no, can't erase that.
To now. I'm just grabbing the statistics now, so we can kind of go over that. Lopez grabbed that second podium.
Was it possibly Mexico, actually?
Where's that Haas? Alexander Lopez. He was on for a podium at Mexico and came out short, P4.
So he's only got one then, I assume?
Only one podium for Alexander Lopez. We have a controller disconnection here. And P9 Ryan Messer, he's had an incredible season. When he first came out and started this season with a pretty dismal P18 at Australia, followed up by a P12, no points in the first couple of races. We weren't expecting much from him this season, but he's had a pretty good turnaround, a P2 at Monaco, and his second podium at Canada. He's also picked up 82 points over the course of the season, leveling him with Oliver Knott for P5. He currently sits P6 on a tiebreaker in this season's championship standings, and I'd say he's pretty much good to stay there. And we just saw Oliver Knott, speaking of that, jump up the order here in the Red Bull with a 107.192. He's won 2 races this season out of 5 starts. His first 2 came at Red Bull Ring and Belgium. Since then, he's had a P2, a P4, and a P9 DNF at Mexico in that race of attrition last time out, with 2 disqualifications and 4 DNFs, 5 DNFs. Oliver James in the McLaren, still sitting in the pits here. He's had an eventful season. Hasn't picked up a podium yet. Arguably should have on multiple occasions, but currently sits on 40 points in P12. He'll be looking to fix that up this weekend. Now we have another newcomer here in the Alpine, not Tyler Fernandez, but Amcaz, otherwise known as, if I can grab this here, Emil Cospo. He'll be racing for the Orker F1 team this go out, who picked up their first win just a couple short rounds ago at the hands of a reserve driver. That one being, I believe, Aaron Clark in Italy, Monza. His only start, picked up a victory. As for that, the 2 full-time drivers, Finn Baker and Santi Ortiz, neither here this week, but in good hands it looks to be with Tyler Fernandez and Emil Cospo. As we see Maxime Van Averbeek take provisional pole position by 0.3 of a second with 8 minutes left in this qualifying session. Lewis Huchin we are riding along with. He's made a couple of starts this season for the Aston Martin team. Now P13 for Vision 47, our current constructors leaders. He's going to be trying to grab a decent points haul for that team as they try and win this constructors championship over Nuclear Fusion Racing, those being the Saubers. In P14 right now and headed into the pits, we have the Ferrari of Shogun Ciel, otherwise known as, once again grabbing this, another new person who I'm trying to see here. I believe this to be, I actually don't know who this one is. This is a person who I don't see on the list here, but I know I saw them sign up, so I'm not quite sure who that is. But they won't get disqualified because I know I saw them sign up. We just had so many sign-ups today that it's hard to tell who's who.
Who are we looking for?
Shogun Ciel, P15 Ferrari. Josh Bowditch in P16, the McLaren. He's had a phenomenal career in ARC at certain moments and a less than stellar one in other moments, but he makes the return to ARC and tries to kind of make his name up in this league, we'll say. Obviously won 1 race in ARC in the ARC NASCAR Cup Series, a Martinsville race way back a couple seasons ago, but now racing in Formula 1, and this youngster definitely going to be a threat in the coming races for sure. He's pretty quick, and we're going to definitely watch him improve. We saw AMS Frozen, that being Lando Davis, jump up to P2 there. I think he'll be a threat along with Oliver Knott to Maxime Van Averbeek in this race. But on top of that, we continue down the order to the other Williams, I believe, Sav, otherwise known as AJ Jackson.
Another new one.
Another AJ.
Got competition.
Our third one. That's a lot of AJs. But, yeah, another Williams driver. He sits in P14 right now. We kind of wait to see what he can do. a member of the VE team, and we will see what he can get up to in this race. Seems to be on a pretty good lap right now, but we'll get into that in a bit. Yato, otherwise known as James Lauder, in P17 in the Red Bull, currently sitting in the pit on a 108.5. Black Mirror, otherwise known as Al Diallo, currently sitting in P18 in the Ferrari, another newcomer. Sean Reese, full-timer here, run a lot of races, started this season as a reserve, picked up a full-time seat, has only missed 2 races this season, currently sits on 53 points in P8. Pretty good season from him in his second full-time ARC Formula 1 season in P19. And then finally rounding out the field, so far we have Caden McDonald with a 109.9 right now, this obviously being the Australian who's been here for the season as well. Missed a couple races here and there. He's sitting on 22 points and looks to pick up a couple more good point scoring positions, his target for this race. But yeah, as we've kind of gone down through this field, what's striking me is how close the field is here. I think we're in for a really good race here.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the top 6, and I think there's more drivers, down the line that could easily jump up into this. So, Brazil, it's one of those tracks where it presents opportunities for, it could be anybody. I mean, you really don't know what you can get here with all the close racing.
Yeah, the racing close, obviously the DRS being a massive, massive opportunity all the way down the main straightaway here. Very long straight that depends a lot on a good exit out of turn 12, and then a couple of kinks that kind of provide some opportunity for drivers to get a bit out of line or maybe defend a bit. But then on top of that slipstream you pick up down into turn 1 as the corner kind of drops away from you. That corner's got a couple of different lines, and we've been known to see drivers make mistakes into that corner. Jamie Cavallini and Xander Wiles coming to blows last year into turn 1 as Xander Wiles crowded Jamie Cavallini onto the outside grass strip, causing Cavallini to spin out.
I think it's actually quite easy to get there too, is to catch the grass there on entrance. It's actually quite easy.
Yeah. It absolutely is. I'm speaking from my many races here, that as you're especially when you're making a move around the outside and the driver kind of wants to take your line away, the driver that you're passing, you may find yourself out there on that slippery bit that you don't want to be on.
I think this race also presents a lot of track limit issues. We've seen there's many corners, I would say, that can really bust you here, it's gonna come down to which drivers maintains and is more aware of their track limits and what they can do.
And I think a big part of that comes down to the size of the curbs here. Obviously, this is a very unique racetrack in just how wide these curbs are and how much attack you can do onto them. There's no other track like this on the schedule when it comes to the forgivingness of these curbs. As we watch AMS Frozen now dive down into turn 1 on this soft tire, full attack, and already invalidated, as we just talked about.
Oh.
And showing his displeasure with that car right now. It won't be pole position for Frozen here this week. Lando Davis in the P3 position. Won't improve. We have a Ferrari spun in the final corner, that being Shogun CL, who I still don't know the name of. And I don't know that we're going to be seeing the name of him in this race, but we could maybe pull up his profile, see what we can see here. But with this many minutes left in this session, I'm doubtful I want to pay attention to that when we have a very, very good battle between these leaders here. And I believe we're going to see any moment here Oliver Knott emerge from the pits, and he'll need to if he wants to make it to the make it around the track to set another lap here. And I don't know that we're going to see him. Oh wait, no, he's on an O lap. I thought that said garage. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, you're not. I mean, it did for a little bit. It did as well. I saw it myself. That's weird. Come on, George Knight here, AJ. I've just got a sense he's gonna put something together here.
Yeah, and he's a good qualifier. We
Oh,
know he is. He's a little wide there through the Curva del Sol, but that's not a game. That's not a qualifying ender. A little wide through there. You're maybe dropping a tenth, but your foot to the floor, so not a big deal here. Into
ooh,
and
well,
a
there goes
big
that.
spin from him, and it won't be better than P5 for him either, as he won't get back around the track in time. Let's ride along with Oliver Knott here, who begins his lap with just a couple of seconds left. Takubi jumps up to a 1:06.658, that being Maxime Van Averbeek, our championship winner. Oliver Knott going to be trying to dispatch of that position and grab the pole here. He's only 2/10 behind, fully committed through the Senna S's and into the Curva del Sol. The rear absolutely squealing around down into the Retta Apasta and into Descida del Lago here. Using all the track you can. As we said, these curbs are very forgiving, but you still can't get too comfortable swinging through this uphill right-hander and then into this hairpin here, the S, and then into what we like to refer to as a bit of a bowl section through here. You got to really commit, but you're just kind of waiting to put that throttle down. Very good exit out of this corner, but what the exit that's going to matter is this one here through Juncao, all the way up. Fairly decent exit with a purple sector in the middle. Can he take pole position? He's going to stay tight to the left here as far as he can without disqualifying his lap, and can't quite go pole. But who else do we have coming around the track here? We've got Ryan Messer, Josh Knight. I believe that will be a pole position for Maxime Van Averbeek yet another time. And we'll see what Joshua Bowditch can do here. P12, can he jump into a points-paying starting position? No, P12 for him. And Ryan Messer will be finishing up his lap by returning to the pits on the brake hard, and to start the second to last race of this Auto Racing Connected Formula One season, we will be seeing another Maxime Van Averbeek pole position. And you know how many that makes this season, Stotts?
I'm gonna go with the solid 7 or 8.
It's been a lot, but we're going to call it what it is. It is, I believe this is his 8th one.
Oh,
sorry.
money.
Wait. 7th.
Okay, I was right there, 7 or 8.
I couldn't quite count it. Couldn't quite count it.
Numbers can be a person's weakness in some capacity.
We let the calculators do their things here.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that.
Only 34 1,000ths between Maxime Van Averbeek and Oliver Knott. The gap you come to expect from these two. They've had a phenomenal battle in the rain this season at both Spa and the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. Both times Oliver Knott coming out on top. But when it's dry, as our forecast is today, Maxime Van Averbeek has had the upper hand every time. Can Oliver Knott turn that around today at Brazil? Our forecast looking incredibly dicey leading up to this event, with a chance of rain near the end, but seems to have burned off here before this race. We had a forecast here of light cloud qualifying and start, kind of moving its way into overcast, but looking like we will miss the rain this time indeed. So, Stotts. Formation lap not happening yet. But you know what time it is. It's time to make our picks.
Right. Woo, woo, woo. Who are we feeling? Who are we feeling? Well, oh man, I picked him quite a bit when he races, but I'm gonna keep going with him. I'm gonna go with Oliver Knott. I feel like he's got a strong case to be able to knock Maxim off here, at a track that creates a lot of opportunities. Obviously with the dark horse picks, I can't see the leaderboard currently, so I'm just gonna throw a name out there that I think I can think off the top of my head. I'm gonna say George Knight. You know what? I think he's an underdog in this case at this point. Honestly, I think he's going to finally defeat the odds. And finish. That's right. He's going to finish, and I think he's actually going to win. I think he might
Yeah.
benefit from
Oh,
some luck.
wow. Okay, obviously George Knight, we talk about him as an underdog, last season's champion, and this season even pulling off 2 victories in his first 4 starts of the season. And aside from a DNF for an accident he wasn't responsible for at Singapore, having mechanical issues since the Red Bull Ring, P12, P14, P4 in the Netherlands, P15, P12, P10, it did not start at the United States Grand Prix, and then in Mexico, a P11. Of those, 6 of those 7 were DNFs. Very, very, very hard season for George Knight, who again disqualified on the formation lap here due to contact. But we definitely hope to see him improve this season. Who do I have this season, or this race, I suppose?
This season that's determined.
I'm going to go with. I think you can't slow down Maxime Van Averbeek right now. He's on 3 straight victories. He's going to grab 4 here today in Brazil. And my dark horse for this race, I think Oliver James finally pulls through and gets a good finishing result of P4 or higher once more in this race.
We've gone for people who have had some stinkers happen to them in the races they ran.
Yes, some stinkers indeed, but we see the field bunching up here. A lot of new faces here, and I'm loving it. I'm loving this field. 20 cars lining up here. What a grid we have. They're just kind of lined up toward the top of this hill here. The lights are on, and now they're off. Our 20 drivers head down into the Senna S's. We have a great start here from the Red Bull of Oliver Knott, but he's not going to quite get Maxime Van Averbeek, who manages to keep that position. We have cars off the track already as the field kind of already fans out into a single file line, but the car that caught my attention was Casper Solheim, who had a bit of a bobble and was off the track. I wonder if we could see track limits for that one in turn 2.
Oh, now it's getting dicey back here in the back.
We already have a Red Bull spun, that being Shogun CL down here. He's missing part of his wing, and I wonder where that one was lost. Tyler Fernandez drops way down the order, still dropping way down the order here. There's been contact here with Caden McDonald, and bit of contact there as well to the rear of Lewis Hutchin. But obviously that Mercedes, the one that we expect to finish. So the one we're watching for here is George Knight for sure. But our first lap here completed already as Maxime Van Averbeek leads that one away. And we have a Ferrari.
The top 3 is about to pull away.
Yeah, already the top 3 pulling away. Oliver James leading this second pack, as we've seen him do a lot this season. The only race we really saw him clinging onto the back of that first pack was Canada, of course. And these two really going at it here. Casper Solheim needs to get ahead of this McLaren. I believe him to be faster in the Aston Martin, but just got taken advantage of a bit off the start. But George Knight has a half spin, but he manages to hold on. Just falls to 7th, doesn't lose a whole lot here. He's just sitting behind Sav now in P6, as he just kind of needs to cool these rear tires and get on with it here to get a good finish. 6 points, once again, better than 0 for our defending champion of last season, no longer this season.
Ferrari spun, and McLaren's also spun. That's Josh Bowditch.
Josh Bowditch down in Juncao, having just spun out.
With Ferrari.
Looks like no damage for him.
Oh, we got 2 newcomers in the Ferraris.
Yeah, both Ferrari drivers for Wildcard Autosport reserving this week for Aidan McCarthy and Xander Wiles, who both are not here this week. We see Josh Bowditch kind of just hanging on here, but we have some action to get to in the middle of the pack here. Casper Solheim still working on this McLaren for P3. These two really going at some wheel-to-wheel contact, and George Knight is indeed back past Sav, and now looking to benefit from this battle up here as we ride from the helicopter here.
Learned his lesson that corner. Didn't want to half spin it like he did last lap.
Yeah, we know George Knight likes his brake balance really, really far to the rear, and a lot of the time what we see is locking rears from him, and sometimes you'll get a half spin out of him, but he definitely did learn his lesson that time. Didn't get too harsh on the brakes, and now he's just trying to recover himself here into a position where he can pounce if anything happens to these top three. And speaking of, I believe, did I just see a car go off track? Was that a V-carb I just saw? Right in the back there, Josh Mayo, I believe, kind of walked up the track into the grass on this straight. Oliver James, all the way down to P6, pokes his nose in and will just remain ahead of Casper Solam for now, but Casper getting in the slipstream of that Mercedes. George Knight now up into P4, defending from the Aston Martin. These three cannot be separated right now for this position. We've seen Oliver Knott and AMS Frozen, Lando Davis, both getting by Maxime Van Averbeek for this P1 and P2 position here. Van Averbeek falling to the third podium position right now. I believe that happened down into Desira del Lago there, but I didn't quite catch when that one happened. George Knight now just eking away from Casper Solam, but once again going to have that DRS to make that happen as we ride along with the leaders here. I believe we'll see another move here from this double slipstream. Maybe Maxime Van Averbeek will make his way back to the lead here. We see Lando Davis now making his way to the front, but peeking around the outside, maybe not quite getting anything done here. Maxime Van Averbeek not able to make anything happen there as the Williams has to stop in the apex for the Red Bull of Oliver Knott.
Could be a double overtake for Maxime. Oh, as long
thinks better of it. Thinks better of it. He wouldn't have had enough there. And George Knight still holding on down here for P4.
You know, he makes up the time, and like obviously he's not going to make the time up on the straights, but you know I feel like he's doing some good time here in the corners.
Yeah, I mean we know George Knight. He's always on the ragged edge. We'll ride along with him for a second here. He had some mechanical issues throughout these past couple of weeks, faulty Xbox, now finally getting back together here, but you can hear him on the power here. The rear wheels always just squealing a bit under power. Very aggressive driving style as we see it. V-carb. Caden McDonald spun, Joshua Bowditch also spun, both in different locations. Bowditch now passing Caden McDonald, who went a little bit further off the track. And down into turn one, Oliver Knott keeps the lead on lap 6.
Oh, Oliver Knott's his rear end was kicked out right there.
We might see Maxime Van Averbeek go by once more. These three on medium tires. The first driver on a soft, I believe, way down the order in I believe 10? No, they've fallen way off. First car on an alternate strat. Oh, and there's contact between the two Alpines for P9, P10. Tyler Fernandez now sliding down the order a bit. He's ghosted after that contact, got into a bit of a half slide.
Oh, and Hassan Sauber made contact right there.
Ryan Messer, I believe, down in P12. He, as I was saying, is the first car on the alternate strategy on a hard tire. I saw a soft tire down here. Yes, that's Blackmare. My goodness, names escape me here. We'll get back to this. Al Diallo in P15, first car on a soft tire. Him trying to make a decent race here for his first start in ARC. Lewis Huchin, P14, not on a soft. I believe no soft tires above P15, so maybe not the ideal strategy. Lando Davis looking out to the outside of the Red Bull into Desira del Lago that time. Ooh. George Knight picks up a time penalty. Unlucky for him, but a lot of race left to go for the driver of the Vision 47 Mercedes as Casper Solam gets pushed off the track by the McLaren. Oliver James, some wheel-to-wheel contact there that leads to
Caden McConnell.
Yeah, Caden McDonald spun again in the V-carb in the back. He'll soon be down to P20 with the right of his spins. Needs to just keep it under control here. Casper Solam now just trying to get by into Junção, and he will, but notably, George Knight has broken the DRS and pulled away after that contact. And we shall see if that remains here after Oliver James and Casper continue to battle here. Down the inside goes the Aston Martin, and there's contact in the back. The V-car, but Josh Mayo gets into that first Williams, I believe, of Sav. They both recover. Very important for them. And now Josh Mayo on the back foot, dropping from P8 to P10 as he gets shuffled out of the way by the Alpine of Amcos. These guys really going hard here, but that battle for P4, or P5, I suppose now, remains on between the Aston Martin and the McLaren. We know Oliver James, very, very aggressive driver, and not afraid to fight. So this battle is one I will keep my eyes on for sure throughout this race. Maxime Van Averbeek pulling out a bit of a lead here, but not going to be a lot of lead left by the time they get to the end of that DRS zone. Lap 9, and we're beginning to cloud over here. I don't know if you just noticed that, Stotts.
I see.
Just over the course of this lap, the cloudiness just kind of made its way over. And we'll be seeing some more grip on the track here. Lap times may start to go up, especially after pit stops when some drivers get onto some softer tires. And speaking of that, the driver that I really have my eyes on for a decent points-paying position here is Ryan Messer, who's been in the DRS train on a hard tire. Makes you think once he gets onto a medium later in the run, what he'll be able to do. Obviously,
it's always cool to see what Ryan Messer, he always runs the opposite strategy, and it pays off for him regardless. It's quite awesome to see.
Yeah, it seems like
does the opposite.
I was going to say, it seems every time as we see the Red Bull now, Oliver not harvesting ERS and nearly falling out of the DRS into Junção, but just keeping that lead there and counted for from Maxime Van Averbeek, but very, very close to sliding out of the DRS, and that would have been a big problem because you can't let Maxime Van Averbeek get away on out of the DRS. The race becomes a race of hope at that point. Yeah.
So are you thinking these medium runners are gonna hop onto the hard? I mean, when do we assume they won't hop onto the hards if they're not? What lap should we be looking for? Do you have yet an idea?
I think these medium runners are going to go as long as they can, but the moment one of them pops into the pits, I think we're going to see just about every single one of them head in. And the car that I think may kick that off, and I'm seeing evidence of it right now, I believe to be the Red Bull of Oliver Knott. He is struggling out of those very, very sharp corners in the middle sector and relying on the DRS every lap to catch back up to Maxime Van Averbeek. I think we're going to see them pit somewhere around lap 14, give or take, for the earliest runners, and I think most of them are going to aim for between lap 15 and 18 for the medium tires. We see our first taker, Casper Solarm, in the Aston Martin, dive into the pits and unfortunately pick up a 10-second penalty. And what do you know? We have a 3-wide overtake for the lead. Lando Davis into the race lead and contact between Oliver Knott and Maxime Van Averbeek. The three getting separated for the first time this race, 5-6 tenths between each of them. After that contact, the two just tangling slightly, and this might build a gap here. We've seen this Red Bull struggling in the middle sector. Can Lando Davis pull out that DRS gap that he needs here through this final corner where the Red Bull's been struggling? The Red Bull remains planted that time, but he's out of DRS. Can the Williams build this gap here? It seems he will be able to with a decent run out of Junção, and he does. Lando Davis capitalizing here for the Williams team, taking the lead and then diving into the pits to make sure he can't be undercut.
Right. That's a good move, quite honestly. That is a good move. So obviously now you have to think, what are these two? What are they gonna do? Right? Are they gonna go in right away or what? I mean, I would. Right? I mean, you don't want to stay out this much longer. I mean, especially for Oliver Knight. He like you said, he's struggling. It should have been him that went in first, but I mean, good call by the Williams driver.
Yeah, I believe
Oh my
I believe
gosh.
that was a good call, but I don't know how his tires are going to feel by the end of this race. And once again, Oliver not just struggling on these older tires. Some slight wall contact there for the Williams exiting the pits, but ideally he finds a gap exiting the pits and will be able to push throughout this section of the race now. This is going to be big for the driver of the Racing Predators number 69 car.
How cold are those hards? Right?
Sorry?
I mean, how cold are these hards
Well,
going to be?
there's a bit of a warm up. There's a bit of a
up?
warm up phase, especially with the overcast conditions. You might see potential for an overcut here. We'll ride along with the drivers up at the front, both of them diving into the pits this time. Let's watch for it. Oh my goodness! He got it slowed down. He makes the pass into the pit lane entrance. Oliver Knott sideways into the pits. Can he hold on through this section? He's sitting. He's serving a penalty. Oh wait, no, he's not.
Oh! It's a lag.
It's the glitch.
Oh,
The glitch always gets us. It always does. But notably, look
it's gonna be close.
It's not close.
No, it's not.
He is well gone.
Yeah.
And the drivers behind, I'm not even sure they're going to be out with a gap here.
Oh no, they're not. As a matter of fact, they almost got split there. Oh, did contact.
Bit of contact here. Sav disqualified from the pits for having spun into the pit road entrance.
That's unfortunate.
Blocking.
Oh, you don't pass right there. You don't pass right there. That Mercedes.
Lewis Huchin? Did I miss something?
Yeah, he tried to pass Maxim on the inside, but there was nowhere to pass right there, and actually hit the back of that Sauber car, and kind of sent the Haas off track, but he was able to regain it. That being Alexander.
Speaking of off track, I'm seeing a V-carb off the track there. That I believe Caden McDonald, is that him a lap down? Yes. Ghosted a lap down, still on the struggle bus in this race. But you know what they say, when you fall off the horse, you got to get back on it. And he has continually gotten back on the horse in this race. We have a multiple yellow sectors here. I'm trying to figure out, as we have a 10-second penalty here from Alexander Lopez. Really unfortunate for him as well. What that yellow flag is for down into Desida del Lago. I believe that's where the Williams of Sav got disqualified for blocking the pit lane. I think it left the pits and then retired off of the track in Desida del Lago. And there's a McLaren now stopped on the track. Josh Bowdish also having a struggle in this race. Our bottom.
Oliver Knott's gaining.
Oliver Knott is indeed gaining, but
he's running into traffic.
But once again, keep in mind these tires. He's used them up early, and he's got a long way to go on these hard tires. 24 laps, I believe, throughout this final session. If I think he pitted end of lap 12, which I think I'm correct about, we have a Haas well off the track down here, that being Alexander Lopez.
Into the wall. He might get... He would get disqualified. Okay, no, he's moving now. Oh, his whole wing is... Yeah, he's actually fully ran into that.
And we have Amcos now passing Jamie Cavanini for P3. Now Jamie Cavanini back up to P2. Oh, there's contact between Ryan Messer and himself. These three going absolutely at it. But you know what is not needed here is Lando Davis absolutely catching a pack of cars that are all fighting extremely hard, and for every inch between these two, the Alpine down the inside of Ryan Messer here, Alexander Lopez hits the wall and crashes.
Virtual safety car.
And we have a VSC.
I don't know what that was on. I don't want to be the one to point fingers, but
it's hard to crash there not on purpose. I think that was a frustration crash, and the stewards will be definitely looking at that here, as George Knight may be gifted a free pit stop under VSC conditions.
Oh, yes, he will be.
Really frustrating here for the drivers who had to do all their work under green flag conditions to get caught up in somebody's frustration like that. But George Knight will be going, thank you very much, as he's going to be right in this pack here. He'll be able to just give it the beans out of the pit lane. And free pit stops all around for these guys.
Oh, some got drive-thrus.
Drive-through 4.
SEK McConnell got one.
Yeah. George Knight not quite in the pack like I expected, but Maxime Van Averbeck now coming up on his teammate. I'm sure that will be a pretty easy overtake here from Ryan Messer, letting him by. Doesn't quite let him by as easily as I thought he would, but and Bowditch off the track once more, getting lapped in that same sector. I believe at this point, it's got to just be that he's letting people off the track in that area, or letting people pass by going off the track in that area. Obviously, he doesn't need to. The car's ghosted, but
Oliver Knott has a drive-through.
Oliver Knott is a drive-through?
He was one of the other ones speeding. He was the other ones. It was him and Caden McDonald that sped under safety car. His just didn't show up all the way because Caden's came up right after.
That is really unfortunate for Oliver Knott, who heads into the pits here to serve a drive-through penalty. He'll need a safety car to get back into the fight here, but still good points on the table for him, but really, really unfortunate for the driver of the Red Bull FR Racing machine in this event. And of course, FR Racing needs some big points. They've had some struggles this season with keeping drivers. So we have some contact here for P8 between our two most aggressive drivers. Once more, Casper Solheim and Oliver James, who come out just beside Oliver Knott. And Casper gets by for P7. Oliver Knott will be making short work of that, I'm sure. Oliver Knott down the outside this time. Will he be able to make that stick? Lando Davis still leading by 1.2 seconds. But importantly, George Knight still kind of eking his way up through here for a pretty... I'm not going to say guaranteed, but assuming we don't have a safety car, he's got 7 seconds to the driver behind. Ryan Messer's still yet to pit, and he's only got a 3-second penalty. I think we may just see a George Knight podium for the first time in many weeks, many weeks. And I believe I just saw a Red Bull there, Oliver Knott, maybe get pinched a bit into the pit lane entrance, making an overtake, but he is well gone through that first corner. Already a massive gap built back to Casper. Driving red here under the red mist. One driver I'm very impressed with right now. Tyler Fernandez, P5. Very impressive. And my assumption's he's already pitted, correct? Let's check that.
He has
indeed. Okay, cool. So very impressive from this newcomer in this race. The highest driver to make his debut in this race. Very, very good from him. Really, I've got to say I'm incredibly impressed this week. Last week we had a lot of newcomers, two of which I believe we talked a lot on stream about how not seriously they were taking it. AMS Frozen, actually, I believe, was one of them. And we allowed him to come back under the pretense that we felt the other person, Nilo, was definitely more of a problem. And Frozen got intentionally wrecked by Nilo. They both joined the league at the same time. We kind of felt it was really McLaren once again spawned that being Josh Bowditch once more, not Oliver James. I keep watching for that. But... yeah, we just kind of let Lando Davis back in and to prove himself, and he is now P1, 0.3 of a second up ahead of Maxime Van Averbeck. They will do battle in this race, and very happy to see him not only take this seriously, but have some incredible pace and really be able to show his mettle in this race in Brazil. And Maxime Van Averbeck, DRS-assisted pass down into turn 1, makes light work of that one. Big lockup into turn 1, but gets it woed down, as expected from the Belgian, who is going for his 4th win in a row and 7th win of the season. Only 2 races left. Can he make it 8? Yet to see. First, he's got to get to 7. As I believe I just saw a 3-wide pass on the track. We have 2 Aston Martins and a McLaren doing incredible battle here for P7. Ryan Messer, the only driver yet to make a pit stop. Man, these guys are just couldn't fit a piece of paper between them this race. Casper Solarm and Oliver James, those two just going at it this week. And really just putting on a show for us. We have a Sector 2 yellow for a spun Red Bull, that being Yato. E15. VSC, he must have taken damage. Let's take a look and see what we can see here. Spun into the inside.
There's some pieces.
Spun into the inside wall. I believe he's missing both end plates off that front wing.
Weird.
And has now stopped and looks like he may be retiring.
I think, is he... I don't know.
I don't know what just happened there. Maybe
his Delta. Maybe his Delta did something like a weird...
That could be it. It could be a Delta issue. I was also thinking maybe mechanical issue caused the... maybe a mechanical issue, steering wheel, potentially. Let's take a look, see if he's on a wheel to begin with here. Turning into the corner. Looks like a steering wheel to me. He'll be headed into the pit this time. Not a lot of turning you can do with 2 missing end plates, but it does kind of, I don't know, because he had the issue with the, and now he picks up a 10-second speeding penalty and retires. I can't blame him for that one. He's not getting points, hangs it up for their weekend, and I get it. That one I understand. New tires on the car, and they'll wheel him into the garage. And now, Maxime Van Averbeek, Lando Davis, going back at it. Can Lando Davis make a move down here into Desida del Lago? This time he cannot. And you know how many laps we have left here? Not a whole lot.
There's contact between the McLaren. I mean, both Aston Martins really getting involved in that. I don't know if there's any damage to Oliver James.
I was gonna
he hit quite a bit.
I was gonna say, you said contact. I didn't even have an icon. I knew immediately where to look because of just how hard these two are battling. So close there, they're getting stuck together through that corner. Oh my goodness, that was nearly a massive crash.
Yeah, my fault. Still could be. Wow, what a sin down there. I don't know if he's been getting help from that Aston Martin.
And I mean, last season we had a big accident down here in the... was it Super Formulas we raced here in GT7, I believe, or maybe it was the F1 League, I can't remember. But we had a big accident in that corner with just that type of thing happening as we just looked at with these two. And now we have a 5-car train formed for this P7 battle. 5 cars, and only 4 of them are going to get points here. We have an Alpine in the back, just out of the points, and look at this battle. I get the vibe that this is not going to end well. We have 3 wide drivers sideways, the V-carb down the inside. Josh Mayo trying to take positions here, and doesn't benefit, gets actually taken advantage of a bit there. And the McLaren, Oliver James, defending still.
And keep an eye on Ryan Messer. He just came out of the pits there. He should be making up a lot of time here, especially with all this battling going on. So he should be in play for some really good positions.
Yeah, Ryan Messer, car number 5 in the Sauber here, going to be trying desperately to pick up some points. And it's ideal, of course. And we have a safety car. Josh, I was just about to point out Josh Bowditch. I don't think it was exiting the pits. I think he spun on the exit of the Senna S and hit the inside wall, which obviously there's no marshal's post there. I believe that. And George Knight picks up a 10-second penalty. No! Oh my goodness, what a terrible... the only thing that saves George Knight here, he can come around, drop positions. Obviously, he'll be mired in traffic. but he can come around, drop positions, and serve that 10-second penalty. And if they don't catch the safety car in time, and they may well not, but I think they probably will. But if they don't, then, you know, there's a bit of a potential. No, they won't catch the safety car because they have to catch.
They have to go around it.
Yeah, Maxime Van Everbeck well ahead of the safety car. The Delta will be in this time. George Knight can pit again for another set of softs if he hasn't used them in qualifying, and dispatch of that 10-second penalty with no issues. That safety car, the Aston Martin V8 Vantage down there, beautiful piece of machinery, stopped on the track and waiting for our leader, Maxime Van Everbeck, who's now in the pits. Headed to the pits. It was Ryan Messer in the pits this go around, and he puts on another medium tire. Let's take a look here. I think the details here, what's going to be important, seeing who's on what tire here. We're going to see Van Everbeck into the pits. Just behind him, Lando Davis into the pits. Neither one picks up a speeding penalty. No sense trying to speed here. You're not going to get anything out of it. And what do we have? For a tire compound, 2 sets of mediums for him. Perhaps George Knight will benefit from this, as he may even choose to go onto a medium like those around him. And I think he'll only drop 1 position here.
It's best not to speed again. There you go. Would hate for that to happen.
He'll lose that spot to Tyler Fernandez, but Oliver Knott, he actually may lose a spot to that as well. This is 10 long seconds for the Mercedes driver down here. And Oliver
Which is
Knott
perfectly fine.
now putting on a medium tire. I thought he went on to
Looks
a
like
soft.
he may use a couple. Oliver Knott?
No, George Knight. I thought for sure he went onto a soft tire. Will George Knight get out of the pits ahead of these 2 cars around him? They're on a Delta. George Knight won't be on a Delta, but will he beat them to the safety car line? Maybe not. He does. He beats them to the safety car line and gets out just behind Oliver James in P6.
Oh.
Now we have a race on our hands.
What's going on here? What's Oliver James doing? Does George Knight not have a Delta, or is Oliver James just holding this up? The only reason I'm saying it because like George Knight was pushing the crap out of him. I'm not sure.
I think George Knight does not have a Delta, and I think Oliver James has a Delta. I think that's what we're seeing here.
So this is going to get interesting.
Why is Oliver James defending under safety car? This is confusing to me.
Need to keep in mind here, some of these guys have penalties. Oliver Knight, Oliver James, George Knight. We got, one of the new guys just picked up one.
Al Diallo. I remember.
And we got the Alpine in 7th with 1, and then also Josh Mayo with 6 seconds. So I mean, shout out to the Alpine in 3rd. I believe that his name is
Tyler Fernandez. P3. Yes.
Tyler Fernandez.
He's good. He's having a good race so far. Yes, and Oliver Knott has that 3-second penalty, as you mentioned. But what's intriguing to me here, slow and steady, as we say, as we have an Alpine spun. Who is that? Tyler Fernandez. Commentator's curse heating up the rear tire, spins around. Will he get those positions back?
Oh, he may be lucky. He might have got lucky. He got to 4th. That's very lucky for him. That is extremely lucky.
Yeah, that's crazy. I cannot believe the game gave him those spots back, but very lucky day here for Mr. Tyler Fernandez to not get penalized, or not penalized, but lose positions in that bit of a bit of a mistake. But first race in Auto Racing Connected, the lights are too bright, as the Cleveland Cavaliers center once said. But as I was saying, Ryan Messer, P10, no penalties. Could be a big race here for the Sauber driver once more. This is how we see him pick up a lot of positions. He's not a factor for the first part of the race, and then you'll see him eke out 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th even. In Canada, you saw him play this to a 3rd place finish. In Monaco, you saw him play this to a 2nd place finish. What can he do today? I'm sure everybody's heard the story of the tortoise and the hare. I'd like to believe Ryan Messer's a little bit faster than a tortoise, but he definitely has the mental fortitude of the tortoise in this race.
Should be going green this time. Looks like we are.
I'll take a look at the back of the safety car here, see if it speeds off from the picture of Maxime Van Averbeek. Lights are still on that Aston Martin V8 Vantage, and we will get rid of the tire detail. All you have to know, the only guy on a soft right now is Amcaz in the Alpine. Everybody is on multiple stops. Safety car in this lap. Bit of a late safety car call-in, but now we watch. Now we watch them go. And
keep an eye on. I'm keeping an eye on the Alpine.
I will be keeping an eye on many drivers here, but Maxime Van Averbeek mostly. Lando Davis, I want to see if he can manage to get the jump here. And Maxime Van Averbeek is away. Lando Davis caught napping a bit here, and now we got to pull that interval back up. The interval menu here, keeping an eye on those time penalties. It makes it a little harder to see, but obviously ignore that safety car thing up at the top. But Oliver Knott back in the fight after the safety car. We said he'd need one to get back in it, and he's already back in it. George Knight now working on the back of Oliver James. We have a very close field in the back as well. Amcaz now gets... or sorry, not Amcaz. I believe that was Josh Mayo attacking Jamie Cavallini for P8, and Ryan Messer up into a points-paying position, P10, as Casper Solam drops to 11th. Up in the lead, though, Lando Davis now working on Maxime Van Averbeek again with just, I believe, 9 short laps remaining here. Well, 8.5. And as we head up to Juncao now, let's see what Oliver Knott can do here with the DRS open at the end of... sorry, it won't be open this lap. This was our first lap. DRS will not be open this time. He may end up needing to use a bit of ERS even to keep himself alive here. Race control has enabled the DRS, and what do you know? We may just have a race on our hands. Purple sector for Oliver Knott in that final one. He's now working on Lando Davis as Maxime Van Averbeek chooses to pull along both drivers. And
threw it a spin, and Mercedes, McLaren, Knight, and Oliver James.
Yeah, Oliver Knight has he's falling back the pack here. I think DRS is not helping with that. Josh Mayo now all the way up to P6 as he's working his way up the field here. There's contact between the McLaren. Oliver James off the track. The contact between Ryan Messer and him. And the Alpine shoots the gap down the middle. Ryan Messer gets caught up in the collateral. Ryan Messer down to 15th. Oh my goodness, how unfortunate for him. Just, I would say that was a pretty much minding your own business type situation, and he got caught up in it. Tyler Fernandez, I believe, is now up to P4 and in the DRS of P3.
Yeah, but he's gotta make sure he can stay there, and I don't think he is. I think he's gonna get dropped.
Do I see P3? Do I see 3 wide into turn 1? I did indeed. And that is going to help Tyler Fernandez in the DRS still. Where did he come from in this race? 7 laps to go. 19th. Started 19th after a disqualification from qualifying for being stopped in the pit lane dangerously. This Alpine driver is quick and is making an impression late in this race. George Knight now back up to 5th with that time penalty. What a race from him, trials and tribulations, but looks like he's going to make it to the end for the first time since the Netherlands many weeks ago, but we don't want to curse that from him. He's had many a scare on this race. Tyler Fernandez now right on the back of Lando Davis. Oliver Knott up to the front with that time penalty. Remember, his Achilles heel here. And a 10-second time penalty for gaining a place corner cutting Oliver James. We'll assume that happened due to a push-off, and that is why he didn't get the position, or give the position back in this case. Maxime Van Averbeek down the inside of Oliver Knott, once more from the onboard of Tyler Fernandez. They are nose to tail with just 6 laps remaining here in the 2025A ARC Formula 1 Brazilian Grand Prix. Down here into Descida del Lago this time, Oliver Knott does not make the move for the lead, just choosing to sit. We watch from helicopter cam here, and now we consider the options here for these drivers at the front. Do you want to be in the DRS? Oh, as we have a crash in the back, a big crash. Safety car's out. The McLaren is in the wall. The wing is somebody lost a wing. I saw it in the Ferrari. Big damage from the Ferrari of Al. It escapes me again. Al. Oh my goodness.
Blackmere?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Al Diallo. It started with a D. Yeah, Blackmere. That's the guy. But yeah, name escapes me again. That was a big accident. I think that kicked off at the McLaren. Oliver James. What do I do here? I take a soft tire. I thought Oliver James picked up another penalty there for a second.
I wonder if people's going to stay out here. If someone is going to stay out, that's George Knight.
George Knight. See, what I was going to say...
He's the only one.
Oh, my goodness. What I was going to say is the leaders, I think you got to stop and take a soft tire. But if you're not the leader, it would be downright silly to not try and capitalize here. What a top 6 we have on our hands right now as Shogun Ciel. Horrible race this season from him. And he raced this race for him. He's been in the dirt. Look at the car. It's just coated in sand. And he sits P4. Ryan Messer just recovering from a spin. P5 for that Sauber driver. P6 for Sean Reese. He's been down in P18 pretty much. Well, not P18, but P15 to 17 pretty much all race for the Haas driver. And no penalty. Lewis
That's
Huchen,
really important for what's in front.
Lewis Huchen leading this race for Vision 47, 1-2 right now, the 2 Mercedes drivers. What can they do in this race? And importantly, can Oliver Knott dispatch of the field? Can Maxime Van Averbeek dispatch of the field? Tyler Fernandez, Lando Davis, these 4 drivers a step above the rest of them this season. But we don't know when this safety car will be in. It certainly won't be this lap, but we think it'll be end of lap 33. In 3, George Knight has left the session.
No, okay. Well, we'll fix that. I'll take care of that if you want. I haven't added this time.
Let's hope he gets back in here before the end of this race. What a disappointing ending it would be for George Knight if this is how it truly goes down.
AJ, I think it's fair to say you jinxed him. You mentioned around lap 30 or somewhere around there about him still being in the race. I think you might have just spoke just a bit too soon.
We have both invited him back. We don't want to see him go out sad like this, but he's working his way back. He said he's trying to ASAP, trying to get back in this session. The safety car, he needs it to go as slow as possible down here through this inner sector, and he really needs luck on his side here. What an unfortunate turn of events for the Vision 47 driver. Last season's champion won't be this season's champion. Will he even be able to finish this race? We certainly hope so for his confidence level in this event, as we already head through well, we're headed up to Boca de Pato. Or Bico de Pato, my bad. And then, I don't speak Brazilian. I don't know if you guys know that. I think I've been pronouncing Jincao wrong this race. Now that I see the little thing at the bottom of the C, I believe that to be Jinsao. So my bad, guys.
No.
And
George Knight's not going to come back in time. The safety car comes in this lap.
This may build a big gap for Lewis Huchen, too, as the AI will be reacting to the Mercedes ahead.
I go as soon as that thing comes in. As soon as that safety car comes in, right away.
I'd be building a gap right here. Come on,
oh, what's
Lewis
he doing?
Huchen. Go, Lewis. Get on the power. George Knight. Massive gap
built
built.
by the Alpine.
And the Alpine will already be taking advantage here, that being Amcos. What do we have
look
back
at
here?
the 3 wide in the back.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh!
Oliver Knott and Maxime Van Averbeek. Van Averbeek tangled up with Oliver Knott. And notably, George Knight's AI still in third. If he can get back in here, he may be okay in this race. But he needs to get back in here ASAP. The Ferrari now trying to make short moves of him. Ryan Messer already trying to get up to P4 here. And Lewis Huchin, literally, where was he all race? Currently leading this thing just ahead of Amcos. What a finish to this race we are going to be having here. Maxime Van Averbeek all the way around the outside. What a move. He is absolutely making his way through here. George Knight's AI is just languishing through the field now. P9, P10, P11. George Knight out of the points once more. What a shame for him. Lewis Huchin now. He is 7/10 up, but Maxime Van Averbeek is coming, and fast. I would be scared if I was in the driver's seat of that Mercedes, just trying to hold on for my absolute life here at the end of this thing. Oliver Knott 3 wide down the inside. 3 wide down the inside. He's trying to hang on. Will he make it stick? He's off the track. The Alpine spins. That is Amcos gets tangled up from Oliver Knott. They're 3 wide again. Lando Davis down the inside. Amcos leaves the session, and Maxime Van Averbeek now back to third. Going to be worked on here by Lando Davis, and Oliver Knott now up to second, even with that time penalty, just to the back of Lewis Huchin. And how many laps do we have left? George Knight rejoins the session, but it's too little too late as his AI has decided to pit. What an intelligent AI. And
Maxime gets into he just spin. He spun the Williams.
Got into the back of the Williams hard there and then didn't check up. The Williams now will be basically out of this thing. Oliver Knott has taken the lead. Tyler Fernandez going to be looking for the victory here with that time penalty from Oliver Knott. Can he take advantage here from Lewis Huchin? Try and get ahead and not lose that gap. Down the inside, the Alpine goes. The Mercedes basically has to just... Yeah, this could be massive.
Gonna have DRS right here.
And we have a sector one. The Ferrari retires in turn 1. DRS from Tyler Fernandez here down into Desida del Lago on this last lap. He sits behind Oliver Knott with a time penalty. Maxime Van Averbeek sits behind him, but that DRS is going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting here through this middle sector. He just needs to defend as we head through this middle sector here into this long sweeping corner, just waiting to put the throttle down. Oliver Knott really just needs to hope for either a mistake or something to happen here. The Williams retires from the session at the very end. Oliver James retires from the session. We believe there was an accident there in the back, and the DRS is going to be open this time. ERS will be deployed. The Alpine will be right up to the back of Oliver Knott here. Oh my goodness, the ERS is not ERSing, but Tyler Fernandez will take the victory by 42 one-thousandths of a second over Maxime Van Averbeek. I saw that ERS light flashing and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, the harvesting will kill him, but it looked like they were all out of ERS at the end of this thing. What a race from the driver of the Alpine. Where did he come from? Didn't lead a lap all day. Comes back, wins the race. What a freaking race from that driver there. Oh my goodness. What an ending. Our second closest finish of the season behind Cameron Lopez and Jamie Cavallini at Barcelona. And Lewis Huchin, the Vision 47 reserve, onto the podium for his first career podium in P3. What a race.
I can assume there's going to be a lot of clips in here. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't know if Maxime's second place is going to hold up, quite honestly. I don't know how he got today. I don't know. I think that should be awarded to the man who won the race from 19th. For crying out loud.
Yeah, driver of the day for me, obviously Tyler Fernandez. What an event from the driver of the Alpine. Impressive stuff from the Alpine driver. The first victory for them in this event in Auto Racing Connected, and My voice is just about gone after those last couple laps. That was impressive, unexpected, incredible. I cannot think of more words to explain that ending than that. And we'll have some disappointed drivers here as well. Obviously, Lando Davis, the one I'm mainly thinking of, he was up in the top 4 all event. Oliver James really just unraveled there at the very end. George Knight, really unfortunate. We saw Shug and CL, of course, the FVR driver, crash in the final lap. Basically, I would say we're going to have more disappointed drivers than drivers who are happy in this one. But what I will say is you never expect to see P19 to P1. That is incredible. Lewis Huchin P13 to P1. Jamie Cavanini P20 to P1. We have a P17, a P16, both in the points. What an event. Would you say that was the race of the season, or is it still Australia for us?
No, I think it's this by far. This by far was awesome. I mean, with the safety car there at the end, it really spiced things up, and we got what we wanted. We wanted the field, at least the front half, to pit, and then the back half stay out and just make everything, just everyone basically drop their hands and go swinging. I mean, we saw the front runners come from the back. They went 3 wide. I mean, heck, it was beautiful. That was amazing racing. Obviously, there were some, some sacrifices made, as they say. But in the end of it, we got ourselves a beautiful finish between two awesome drivers. I mean, it's something that we've been wanting to have a lot this season, and we got ourselves another one.
Yeah, absolutely. And the drivers will be directed to head to the bottom of the server so we can pick out a couple interviewees here at the bottom. But I would love to know here. From these drivers, what an absolutely incredible race. Tyler Fernandez winning that one. Incredible from him. And I'm now realizing there were 2 Fernandez in this race. The one we kept calling Shug and CL, that's Ben Fernandez. So that explains my confusion earlier in the race. We should definitely keep note of that as well in upcoming events. Called him Shug and CL all event. And note of significance of that out to him. And
I see no one in the waiting room.
Nobody in the waiting room as of yet. And that's fine. That means I get to be done my job a little sooner.
I get to go watch some racing,
and we will
on the TVs.
We will wait and just a little longer do sponsorships here. And if we don't get an interview here, I'll just run through our sponsorships. Obviously, shout out to Divebomb, dive-bomb.com for all your motorsports news. Hit their website if you want to read some incredible stuff. Obviously, we have a big week of racing in real life. Memorial Day weekend, we have some massive events going on. The Indianapolis 500, the Monaco Grand Prix, MotoGP, I believe, is this weekend in Silverstone. I don't know why that escaped me. And NASCAR has the Coca-Cola 600. If you want to check out Dive Bomb, I'm sure they'll have stuff written about all that stuff, and maybe you'll even see something about the weekend's biggest race, the Weenie 500. On top of that, we'll go to the next one. Next sponsorship, simleaguepro.com. You want to run a racing league easily? Go to simleaguepro.com, register your league there. Need to do calculations, so you're better at math than us. Simply drag and drop your results in their website. It'll calculate it all for you. Great stuff, great site. Can't say enough about it. Hell of a lot easier than Google Sheets, and we definitely recommend that. On to the next one as well. Shout out to Assetto Hosting. Or sorry, not Assetto Hosting. I mean, shout out to Assetto Hosting. They helped us a lot this weekend. Shout out to the Racing Rats. for their Assetto Corsa mods. For our racing league, obviously the World Sports Car Championship coming up tomorrow at Fuji Speedway in Arc for the Fuji Cup. That this weekend is at 7 p.m. British time or 2 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. The Racing Rats makes all of the cars for that league, and you won't want to miss that one. A 53 lapper from Fuji Speedway tomorrow. On top of that, just kind of a shout out to our schedule this weekend. Tomorrow, Fuji Speedway, as we said, that schedule based on the 1988 Fujifilm Cup from Fuji Speedway. Now just the Fuji Cup at Fuji Speedway. And Sunday, we visit the ARC Touring Car Championship, that being from an incredible circuit at the Red Bull Ring, Spielberg Race 1 of the short circuit. Obviously, that's been an incredible season so far. We've had 28 starters in the touring car season. You thought tonight was close. Now imagine 28 touring cars beating and banging for position at the short version of the Red Bull Ring. You won't want to miss that from our live stream Sunday night, always streamed on Auto Racing Connected. Tuesday, we have the ARC NASCAR Cup Series, which has been streamed incredibly consistently since the season's start. That's been going very well. That is from the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval for the ARC NASCAR Cup Series at the Roval event. That's May 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Won't want to miss that on our YouTube channel. And then Wednesday, we have another racing league on our YouTube channel, once again, or not a league, but another league race. That being the East Indy 150 from Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park in Thompson Speedway on iRacing. And then we'll see you guys next week here Friday night, once more for the season finale from Abu Dhabi. Obviously, that's May 30th, F125 out for those early release day holders, but the last day of F124 and the last race from us this season. And then we'll be on to F125 after that. Will next week live up to it? Maybe not, but as we saw this week, anything can happen. What a race. I have nothing but positive things to say tonight, and I hope to see you guys next week from Abu Dhabi.